French President Emmanuel Macron has refused to accept the resignation of his Prime Minister after a left-wing coalition won the country's parliamentary election. Dominic Waghorn reports from Paris.
It was accepted amongst most people that the far-right party, the National Rally, would not repeat the success it made in the first round of the elections and would not achieve the outright majority it so desperately wanted. But I think almost everybody expected it to still be the biggest party in the parliament. It was outmanoeuvred by a blocking manoeuvre by pretty much all its rivals across the political spectrum in France, the Republican Front as it's called, and that it's repeated what it's done in the past, which is kind of running against the National Rally and kind of neutralising its threat. But I don't think anybody expected the left-wing coalition to lead and Macron's Ensemble party to come second. So now the dust is settling, Sophie. I think people are now trying to work out how big a gamble it was, how big a failure it was by Macron, or did it actually vindicate what he did, taking this extraordinary gamble to call these unnecessary snap elections in the wake of the far-right's success in the European elections. There are those who are saying that actually it's not so big a crisis. They're saying that de Gaulle's Fifth Republic constitution is designed to kind of absorb these crises. It was based on the premise that the French are a fractious lot. They are so riven with squabbling, they need a very strong president. And the president has extraordinary powers. Conceivably, Emmanuel Macron could continue until he leaves office in 2027, ruling by decree and using some kind of place person as prime minister, pretty much as he has done since he lost his parliamentary majority, his party's majority, in 2022. So they would say plus ça change, but I think the majority of analysts are saying no, it was a big mistake. It was a gamble that has backfired, and what it's going to lead to is a huge amount of chaos and gridlock and a very difficult situation here politically. And I think the big concern amongst those critics of Macron is that because this gamble has backfired, and if he does try and rule by edict, those extremists, the far right and also the extremists on the left, are going to be even more strengthened, because their supporters will say, look what happens when you vote for your party. It's the outcome is stitched up by the rest of the establishment. They will be furious over the next 2.5 years watching a president using presidential edict, a man they call Jupiter, ruling on high, overriding and not listening to the will of the people as expressed through these elections. And therefore, when we come around to presidential elections in 2027, the far right could be even stronger. So we'll have to wait and see what happens then. I think what we are guaranteed to see now in French politics for weeks, months, possibly years to come is political turmoil as the French president and his parliament kind of now grapple with what is effectively uncharted territory.